We're at 22 days. I wanted to discuss the whole Konami treating its staff like slaves or whatever. We're at 22 days. I have a lot of ideas for this, so don't worry. We won't be here a while. Got 3 weeks of seeing this ugly face. Anyway, 22 days. I think a lot of the stuff about the whole Konami treating their workers like slave thing is being overdone. Like I honestly think you guys are just running with it, and you're exaggerating like a motherfucker. Like, so they want their workers to be there on time. Like, yeah, that's every job. That's nothing new. Like, you're supposed to be there on time. Like, hell, it's like that in school. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be late. Like, that's common sense. You know, like, so I don't see the problem with that. And the whole that they chastise them in front of everybody. Like, yeah, if it gets to the point where you're late every single day, you kind of deserve that shit. Like, I could see you being late once in a while. That's fine. But if you're late like every single day, sometimes yeah, you get chastised. I mean, because it's your job and you get paid for your job, and you should be there on time. That that's how you make money. You should be there on time. It was pretty basic. I don't understand why you guys are tripping about that one. And then the whole moving them to other areas. That's what are you tripping about? Like, that happens at all the jobs I've ever worked. That happens. You work, you learn something, and then they're like, "Oh, cool, you learned that? Okay, now come over here and learn this. Be more productive for us." That happens at every job. Every job I've ever had has done that. And then if you learn a lot, you move up the ranks, and maybe you'll get a raise. That's work. That's how it is. Like, I don't see why you guys are upset about that. Like, that's an everyday thing. Like, that's every job. That's no matter where you work. You know, hell, told y'all I used to work at a truck company, right? I worked at a truck company. I started in there, and all I did was type. Like, I would type in numbers, and I did data entry for them. You know, like, I would get reports, and I would type it in, right? And then next thing I know, I was also scanning, because the files need to be on the computer. So next thing I know, I was scanning, and the next thing I do, I was also keeping track of the money, and the next thing I know, I was dispatching trucks. That's just work. That's every day. That's how it is. Any place you go, that's how it is. Like, I don't see why you guys are upset. I don't get it. Like, and if you work at Konami and they have a lot of different subdivisions, then they're going to try to teach you as many as they can so you can be productive and get paid the money for working your job. Like, that's what are you guys tripping about? I don't get it. It's work. Like, that's how work has always been. It's not gonna be different because they're a video game company. It's still work. It's still a job. Motherfuckers still gotta be productive. That's basic. I don't get what you're mad at. The only thing that I was questioning was the whole that they can end up doing like custodial work and like doing like the janitorial stuff like that. That's a little weird. I've never had like, I'll clean, like, yeah, you got to keep your workplace clean. Like, yeah, y'all clean once in a while, but I never like straight up been the janitor. Like, that was a little weird. But I mean, I've heard that, and that's just a cultural difference. Because I heard that like Japanese kids will clean up after themselves after like a rally or something like that. So that could just be a cultural thing. We don't really know. We shouldn't be claiming that they're being worked like slaves when it just sounds like a small cultural difference and a bunch of motherfuckers not knowing how a job is. Like, y'all motherfuckers never had jobs or something? Like, how do you... That shit is basic. Y'all bitching about nothing. Nothing. That shit is basic. It is basic. You're supposed to be on time. Like, I don't get what you're mad at. And on that note, 22 days. We're almost there. Y'all have a good one. V for victory.